Yoo-hoo! Time to nut up and shut up. Hello there, I'm Scotty. You're on. Welcome back to March of the Living Dead. Do! And we are talking about Zombieland. That's right, I am revisiting the two Zombieland movies because I don't want to watch the Night of the Living Dead 3D or World War Z. Not really interested in doing that yet. One of these years I'm going to have to. Yes, I'm planning on bringing this back next year for a third go-around. We'll just see if I can find something to push them back. But we are talking about Zombieland. Now, I reviewed this back in 2019 during my first year, back in December of 2019, during my first year of YouTube, when this little beauty was coming out on in the theaters, and I reviewed this too. But I'm doing both of these now because, well, one, I can skip out on doing those, but also I feel like I need to revisit them, and I kind of wanted to cover them, you know, in the March of the Living Dead, because these movies are pretty good. I enjoyed watching this back. So, first time I watched this was in 2019. I had the DVD. For some reason I never watched it. And then I had bought the Steelbook back when Walmart had the run of Steelbooks. And then I finally watched it. And yeah, I love this movie, and I watched it again. It's been a few years since I watched it. I don't always watch movies, even though I love them. It takes a while to watch them, so you know what? Maybe my biggest positive for this movie is Woody Harrelson. I could just watch a movie of Woody Harrelson as Tallahassee trying to find a Twinkie, just going through killing zombies just to get a Twinkie, and that's what it is. Like, basically, that's his whole plot, is that he wants a Twinkie. That's what it is. He has a bunch of other stuff, but the story here is, you know the story, right? A ragtag group of survivors in a zombie apocalypse try to survive the zombie apocalypse by sticking together sometimes, and so we start with Columbus. So first thing I want to talk about is the names. Columbus, because that's where he came from. Columbus, Ohio is where he's going. Tallahassee, because he's going to Tallahassee. And then Wichita and Little Rock. But they're sisters. So shouldn't they have the same name if they're from the same place, right? Wichita and Little Rock. The only thing I can think of is that Wichita had moved out and was living in Wichita, and went back to Little Rock, but they were together before the apocalypse started. I don't know. But we start with Columbus, played by everyone's favorite Lex Luthor, Jesse Eisenberg. I say that sarcastically, of course. And he's trying to survive. He presents us with rules like don't be a hero, beware of bathrooms, buckle up, so on and so forth. And he tells us how this all started. He says that someone ate a contaminated burger that led to the zombification of people. And he recalls how he got involved in this. He was playing video games and drinking Mountain Dew Code Red. I have Asian tea because I don't have that. The last time I drank Mountain Dew Code Red, no caps, no bullshit, I got sick. I ended up getting a fever. Yeah, my friend at the time, he brought me a couple of cans. He's like, here. I'm like, okay. He's like, I want to bet, or you owe me something or something. I don't know. He's like, here. And I drank one can, and I got sick. And I don't know what it was. I started feeling better a couple days later, drank the other one, got sick again. So I don't know. I haven't touched Code Red since then. Maybe it was a zombie apocalypse and I'm immune. And I didn't notice, you know my walk, right? Well, my walk, I'm a little waddly, And then over the last couple of weeks, I've had a problem with my left calf where it's been bothering me. So I kind of walk. It's a little better today. So I kind of walk. It feels better, so I can't really. I walk like I can't really do it because my leg's feeling better. But I walked with a limp, so I kind of walk like I'm a zombie. So, like when I was going through those Return of the Dead movies, I'm like, I feel like a zombie walking around like this. But yeah. So Columbus, he was sitting in his apartment, playing video games and drinking cold red Mountain Dew, when he got a knock at his door from, he said, is the most beautiful woman he's ever seen, his neighbor who's the most beautiful woman he ever seen, and it's Amber Heard. And I'm yelling at TV, no, no, don't let her in, she'll shit on your bed. No, 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 no. The fact that he calls her the most beautiful woman he's ever seen is just, who, in context. That's why watching Pineapple Express will never be the same again. She's in that too, you know. And all the boys love Mandy Lane. Guys that keep trying to kill her, you're gonna root for them instead of her. Anyway, anyway, that's what it was about. Anyway, she is somehow infected, even though she said that the homeless person tried to bite her. She goes to sleep on him and then wakes up, a zombie, and he's forced to kill her, I think. And then he's on the road, he bumps into Tallahassee. Tallahassee, basically, he's a scavenger. That's Woody Harrelson, by the way. And he's just going through place to place because he doesn't believe there is any place that is safe. So he just keeps going and going and going. So he's a scavenger, he's a roamer. And he's basically just trying to find a Twinkie. Anytime there's a Twinkie, there's a Hostess truck and it only has snowballs, what Hostess truck only carries one kind of thing? Like, even like a Pepsi truck would have more than just Pepsi in it. So I don't know. But it's kind of a running joke. He was trying to find a Twinkie. There's no Twinkies in the stores, anywhere. And it wouldn't be, I don't think they'd be in condition to eat, but who knows? They decide to, go together until they get to the East Coast. We're saying we're going to the West Coast anyway, but go to the East Coast. And so then they eventually come across, when they go to the grocery store, they take down some zombies. That was zombie kill of the week. But he's trying to find the Twinkies. There's none in there. And then they find the two girls, Wichita and Little Rock, which I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me, but I don't know. And they trick them and they take their vehicle. And if it's one thing, it gets kind of old. Like, they do it only twice in this, really. But it's like, really? No, they take their vehicle. And then something happens to the vehicle. Like, it breaks down later and they find it. And then they're caught again and all four of them go together. And so they get to Hollywood, right? Hollywood, California. And Tallahassee has the idea to go to Bill Murray's house, where we get probably one of the things I outright do not like about this movie. Bill Murray's cameo was hilarious, but he gets killed. Like, why? Why do you have to shoot Bill Murray? Like, just why? Why? Why shoot Bill Murray? It's supposed to be funny, but it's just kind of like, I do like his line, though. I've always liked this line, because you might need more context for it if you don't know the story behind it, but they said, do you have any regrets? And he goes, Garfield, maybe. If you don't know, he signed on to do the Garfield movie thinking that Joel Coen of the Coen brothers was directing it. Turns out, no, it wasn't, but he had already signed on, so he couldn't back out. And he did a sequel too for some reason. I think it was in his contract. But yeah, and they make a joke of Garfield 3 and the next one. So yeah, he dies. What was it I was going to point out? There was something that they brought up that is factually wrong. I don't remember what it was. It's when Wichita and Columbus are talking to each other. What was it? Come on. You know what? I'll be right back. Okay, I wanted to figure out what it was. So it's when Wichita brings in the bottle of wine that George is saying La Trois or whatever it's called. And she said, they're talking about, it's from the year 1997. She said she saw her first R-rated movie in 1997, Anaconda. And you know what? I have it right here. Oh, look at that. It's PG-13. So, in the words of the late, great Robin Williams, wrong. Sorry. No, it's not rated. I was like, even before I even looked, they're like, she's like, I saw my first R-rated movie, Anaconda, and I'm like, I think that's PG-13. And so enough, it was. It's not rated R. So they need to fact check. And this from Columbia Pictures too. So Ruben Fleischer, you're gonna be in big trouble. He didn't direct this at the time. He directed this. No. Yeah. I do like. It's a sad moment, but you know, at the beginning, Tallahassee is telling Columbus about Buck, his dog, but it turns out later it's actually his son, and yeah, it's terrible. Not that I like it, but I like showing Tallahassee's humanity, because up to this point, he's been this badass, hunting for Twinkies, shooting the first thing you see, he's killing zombies, like sort of thing. You get the sense of humanity in that when you find out the truth, you know what I mean? That works. It works for that scene. Then the girls take off on them again, and it's like, okay, that was the point. And also, Alex say, hey, come help us move the couch. We're going to make a fort. If we don't get to see the fort, I want to see a fort. My brother used to go around my grandma's house, stealing everyone's pillow to make a fort in the living room. Yeah. But I say, leave me one so I could lay on it a little bit. You know what I mean? You know. But, yeah, it makes him human. And, oh, I'm way fast. But, yeah, they never showed the fucking fort. But they wake up the next day and they're leaving. Like, they wake up just leaving. That's convenient. You know what I mean? Oh, hey, Bill Murray. Ghostbusters sock. Which, yeah, so we get our climax at the Playland, or whatever it's called. It's this amusement park where they say there are no zombies anymore. But we have been told, but Tallahassee's been saying that it doesn't matter where you go, it's going to be zombies. And so there is zombies there. And, you know, she explains why they do it, because she wants to, let her have a childhood, But all the flashing lights, they're just going to attract the zombies. And what do you know? It's like what happens. The zombies show up, and so the guys are forced to help them. Tallahassee has this big shootout in this booth that he's fighting them off. And then, the girls are going up and down the tower of power, whatever you want to call it. And Columbus has to fight this clown zombie, which of course he does, because he mentioned, like at the beginning, that he hates clowns, and now, he has to break his own rule, which is don't be a hero, and now he's being a hero to save these girls. So, yes. In other words, he's saving the day. Saving the day. Like Ghostbusters. But, the comedy in this is actually pretty good. I don't like the Bill Murray stuff, but it's pretty good. I like the zombie killing stuff. There's not a lot of gore. For an R-rated movie, there's not a lot of gore. Like, when he kills the big fat zombie guy, you see him go forward with the shears, and it cuts away, and you hear the noise, and you see the shears come rolling back. You don't see decapitated head or anything. You don't see, even like with the gunshot stuff, it's like cutaways. It's really weird. for an R-rated film to not show any gore or anything. I don't know. There's some gross out stuff with Amber Heard where she pukes all over the place, but other than that, there's no blood or gore or anything really, and this was just weird. For not only a rated R movie, but a zombie movie, you know. Well, maybe there's any other ones, but you know what I mean. But yeah, and so yeah, they rescue the girls obviously, and then it looks like they're gonna leave again. And I remember both times I've watched this now because it's been so long between. I think I did it the first time. Is when they go to leave, I'm like, really? They're taking off again? I don't remember that though. But they're together and do they meet up again? No. They're like, come on, let's go. But Tallahassee's still on the quest for Twinkies, and so he goes to a deep fried Twinkie stand where they hear a noise, and so Columbus shoots towards it. Turns out it was a rat, but he shot through the door into a box of Twinkies and he ruined them all. But they found one. Wichita and Little Rock found one Twinkie. Don't know where they found it, but they found one. So he gets his Twinkie in the end, and they ride off to the sunset. Well, they'll be happy in Zombieland. And, you know, if there is one complaint I could say about this, it's not really an ending. I mean, obviously they weren't going to cure the zombie apocalypse. But even in some of Romero's films, there's finality to it. Like, in Night of the Living Dead, all the characters are dead. In Dawn of the Dead, they get in a helicopter and they fly away. In Day of the Dead, they even go to another place, I think. I haven't seen that. I don't remember that. I remember the first two. You know, and, you know, even in Return of the Living Dead, the bomb, boom, explosion. You know, this kind of reminds me of the Return of the Living Dead 2, where, well, Living Dead has a finale ending where they leave and they move on, and then the third one, the characters both die, and then, yeah, maybe this is like 4, where they're found, but they're, you know, there could be more. I don't know. This just seems like, okay, let's go on to the next place, but then the movie ends. It's like, till next time. It's like, wait, you're going to keep going. You know, it's not really an end. You have this climax with the zombies at this playland, but it doesn't seem like a finale type thing. But I can't hate this movie, man. I love this movie, which is why I'm not going to throw it up because it's the steelbook. I don't want to ruin it. But what I have to say, when it comes to Zombieland, it's going to go to the moon. That's right, to the moon. I don't think I didn't have any. I don't know if I gave it a 10 out of 10 when I first reviewed it, but I didn't look back at I don't watch my old reviews. Some about my first year, like when I rewatched the Paranormal Activity reviews before I decided to review them, I'm like, it's coming up. It's been a few years. Let me look at it. I'm just sitting there rambling away at nonsense. And that's basically what I do now at ramble, but at least I'm trying to do coherent sentences. I'm just naming off stuff. Oh, this happened. And then there's this happened. And it's like, at least now I'm putting together a cohesive plot. You know what I mean? But, yeah. So what are your thoughts on Zombieland? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.